Thanks again for following this series. My name is Gibson, and if you haven't already watched the first video on here about anxiety, I suggest you go back and do so because it gives you a really important first step. And every other day for the next few days, I'm going to be going through and giving you really important tools to crack anxiety and finally be able to feel like you're in control of your thoughts and emotions. So step 2, in step 1, we talked briefly about finding context and what anxiety actually is at the root level. That anxiety is essentially a buildup of unresolved problems that your subconscious mind is storing. So here's step 2. We're going to actually find context and we're going to start creating strategies to solve the problems. So I highly recommend, as you're beginning this, if this is something that you're new to and you've never really tried to work through anxiety before, I would recommend starting this process with a pen and paper. And on a daily basis, dumping all of your concerns on paper so you can actually source them. So you might already have an idea about what's triggering you. And if you do, I just want you to realize that the source of transforming what could be triggering you is to write your concerns and then make a plan for how to deal with them. So let's use the example of falling behind at work. You might have to write everything down. I'm stressed out because I feel like I'm falling behind at work. Maybe you feel like my job is on the line. I could get fired, whatever it might be. And so you have to sit there, and instead of just avoiding that and thinking those thoughts and trying to avoid it, anxiety is going to keep trying to push that back up so you can solve the problem. It's there as your friend. It is trying to benefit you and help you direct your life so that you can find solutions to the challenges that are arising. So we have to use that and use our anxiety as a feedback mechanism instead of be used by it. So here's what I want you to do. If you're new to all of this information and you're feeling a lot of anxiety, sit down, dump your concerns on paper, and then figure out what the actual source is. So write everything that can be bothering you. And if you don't really know where to start in the 7 areas of life. So take some time and analyze each area and look for what feels unresolved or not good in that area of your life right now. So career, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and relationships. And relationships can include friends, family, and romantic partnerships. So write everything down and look for where the unresolved problems feel as if they are in your life right now. And it might feel scary at first because we're taking a serious inventory of our lives, and it's not the easiest thing to do when sometimes we spend a lot of time trying to avoid thinking and feeling about these things. But I can tell you with certainty, because anxiety's duty is there to bring those things to the surface, the more we avoid, the stronger the anxiety will become. So And this is what your brain does. It ruminates repeatedly over things that feel unresolved. It's trying to get you to solve a problem. Rumination is literally there to try to get you to solve a problem. So what we have to do is dump all these concerns on paper, spend some time in reflection, and then create strategies. Ask yourself, next to the concern, what do I need to feel better in this area? And what is my strategy for how to achieve this? And believe it or not, even if you don't have the best strategy, and even if the problem is not solvable overnight, just by having context for what the problem is that's occurring, and just by creating strategies and solutions and moving in that direction, your brain will start to feel like it's moving towards a source of completion or a sense of completion. And this will relieve your anxiety tremendously. So in the next part of the series, I'm going to introduce you to even deeper tools to target the roots of anxiety. And a lot of this has to do with your beliefs. But for now, I just want you to get really clear on the inventory part of what's causing anxiety. So we're looking for context. We're understanding that anxiety is literally just a set of unresolved problems that are creating emotional pent-up residue in the subconscious mind. And anxiety is trying to push them up to the surface so you can solve these problems because your brain is wired for survival. It's there trying to support you and not to have you have all these lingering unresolved problems in your life. And then from there, you're going to create needs. What do I need to feel better in this career problem in my life, in this financial area of my life, in this spiritual area of my life? What do I need to feel better? And what are strategies to get these needs met? And right there, you'll see a huge shift in anxiety, like 30, 40, 50%. And then I'm going to take you into the next part. Now, remember, you want to execute these strategies, and that will keep helping you to relieve anxiety. But again, there are even deeper roots to come still. So stay tuned for the next video.